In this video, I'll show you how to build an AI daily medication reminder system using n8n and Home Assistant. It intelligently reads a different medication plan each day and then generates a perfectly accurate voice instruction that tells the elderly exactly what medication to take and how much. All right, let's start building our n8n workflow. And the first node we need is the trigger. This is our starting pistol, the master clock that starts everything. It's a schedule trigger node. Its only job is to kick off the entire workflow at a specific time that we define. Now, let's look at its configuration. First, in the trigger interval, we select days. Next, in days between triggers, we enter 1, which guarantees the task runs every day. Finally, and most critically, in trigger at hour, we chose 9 a.m. considering a relaxed and appropriate morning routine for the elderly. With these three parameters combined, we've precisely defined the start time, 9 a.m. sharp, every single day. This configuration is the foundation for the entire automation's reliability. Okay, triggers set. Now for the core of the operation, the brain, and this is where we need to think about efficiency. So, right after our schedule trigger, we bring in the AI agent node. Its critical task is to act as a professional health assistant at the very start of the workflow and determine just once the definitive answer to what medication is needed today and how much. We place it here right after the trigger to ensure this thinking process runs only once per day for maximum efficiency. Now, let's look at its core configuration, which is a collaboration of three parts. First is the prompt, which is the AI's instruction manual. We've designed it carefully to set the rules. We give it a role, a professional health assistant, provided the dynamic context it needs, the current date and day of the week, and a static knowledge base, our hard-coded medication list, which is the part you'll customize. Then we give it a clear task to figure out today's medication based on the day of the week. The second part is the Google Gemini chat model. This is the language model that provides the thinking power for our AI brain. Finally, and most critically, is the structured output parser. We use this to force the AI's answer into a strict format we can rely on. In its configuration, we provide a JSON template and enable the auto-fix feature. To ensure the format is absolutely correct, we even configure it with another Gemini model to perform a second validation and repair if needed. This ensures the output is a clean, machine-readable JSON object with an action and medicine field, which is the only language our subsequent nodes can understand. So, at 9 a.m., our AI, powered by Gemini, has already done its job for the day. Now we can build our loop. We start with an Edit Fields node. This is a data preparation tool. Its sole purpose here is to get our reminder loop ready. In its configuration, we set the mode to raw JSON. Then, in the JSON output box, we manually create a data field named loop count and give it a list containing 3 numbers, 1, 2, and 3. Why do we do this? Because we don't want the reminder to announce just once in case it's missed. The quantity of items in this list, 3, determines how many times our voice reminder will repeat. We are telling the system, take the AI's decision and repeat the announcement 3 times to ensure it's heard. Next, the signal flows to the split out node. Think of this node as a sorter. It takes the list and splits it into 3 separate individual items, outputting them one by one. Its configuration is simple. In field to split out, we enter loop count. Then, under include, we select no other fields to keep the output clean. After this node, what was one piece of data is now 3 separate data streams, perfectly lined up for our loop. These 3 streams then flow into our loop over items node. This is the loop engine for our reminder mechanism. Its core job is to serialize the incoming tasks, ensuring each loop cycle is a complete independent operation. The key setting here is the batch size, which we set to 1. It forces the workflow to process only 1 reminder cycle at a time, from start to finish, before beginning the next one. If we didn't set it this way, for example setting it to 3, all 3 tasks would be bundled and processed at once, and we would lose our spaced out reminder effect. Now, inside the loop, we place the if node. This is a direct conditional check. Its job is to decide if the workflow should continue. We place it inside the loop so that before each reminder is about to be spoken, it checks one last time. Is a reminder actually needed today? In its configuration, it's simple and critical. For the first value, we use an expression to point to the action field from our original AI agent's output. The operation is equals, and the second value is 1. The whole rule reads, is the AI's initial decision for action equal to 1? If yes, the signal passes through the true exit to continue the process. If no, the signal goes out the false exit, which is a dead end. This loop cycle then safely terminates without making any noise. This is the on-off switch that ensures we only speak when the AI has determined it's a medication day. Once the if node gives the green light, the signal immediately hits a wait node. This node's purpose is extremely simple: to pause the workflow. We place it here inside the loop and before the announcement to create a reasonable interval between our multiple reminders. In its configuration, we set the amount to 1 and the unit to minutes. This 1-minute pause is essential. Without it, our 3 reminders would fire in successive succession, which would be ineffective and annoying. This pause creates a calm, deliberate buffer, giving family members enough time to react. And finally, after the wait, we reach the payoff, the notification node. This is a Home Assistant call a service node, and it's our final step that produces the sound. Its job is to call Home Assistant's text-to-speech service, convert text to sound, and play it through a smart speaker in our home. In its configuration, we first set the resource to service. Then the domain is TTS, and the service is speak. Finally, in service attributes, we define 3 crucial parameters. First, the message, where we use an expression to pull the value directly from the medicine field of our AI agent's output. Whatever the AI decided, this is what will be spoken. Second, the entity ID for the TTS service we want to use, for example, TTS 11 Labs. And third, the media player entity ID for the specific speaker that will make the announcement, like media player, music player Damon. With this configuration, we successfully turn the AI's thought into a clear, audible voice reminder, completing our task faithfully at the end of each loop. So, there you have it. We let the AI do all the heavy thinking just once at the beginning, and then use a simple loop to make sure its message is delivered clearly and calmly. I've packaged up the entire workflow and all related code for you. That link is waiting in the description. The conversation continues in the comments, so tell me what automation you're curious about next. Thank you for your time. A simple like and subscribe helps this community grow immensely. Until next time, happy automating!